The Buckram reeled as rumour after rumour flooded in, following the fall of Fydock Castle. The leader of their enemy, a youth scarce old enough to shave, their owner Boona Branton, a man unworthy of their trust, the Dark Knights routed. But above all else, the news that King Dorgalawa's daughter still lived. In their desperation, the people wept. They yearned for a righteous leader, a saviour to bring them prosperity. The Lady Karshua was the answer to their prayers. Lancelot Tartaros, mouthpiece of the Holy Lodician Empire, recognized Karshua as the rightful heir to the Valerian throne. The quarrel over succession was officially laid to rest. By Lancelot's accounting, this prior unrest, as he named it, stemmed not from a deep-rooted divide between clans, but instead from the misdeeds of a handful of power-hungry men. The history books would speak of no great Valerian war. Yet only the landed and the nobility paid any service to Lancelot's tale. For those who resented the ascendancy of the Buckram, words made a poor sound. While the lie of the battlefield had changed, the war raged on. What had once been seen as a clash of clans became a rift between rulers and the ruled, a struggle to break free from the yoke of oppression.
You still live. Leave us.
Can you hear that, Knight of Zenobia?
It is only a matter of time before you fall.
Who rules in Valeria is a trifling matter. You of all people must understand this.
Let me guess. Unable to stem the tide that rises from the hamlets and villages?
Perhaps we ask too much of the Buckram soldiers. They are not the soldiers we are, you know. Or the men.
Always binding people to your will. Fettering them lest they show signs of free thought. Perhaps therein lies your problem.
They ask for a stern hand to rule them.
They ask? You're mad.
You have it wrong. It is the world that is mad. Tell me, how many of these peasants would even lift a hand to better their lot were they given a chance? How many would bloody their hands, risk their necks, walk without leaning upon another? How many would dare to fight? Think back to your own uprising. Where were the people for whom you shed blood? Safe at their hearths, grousing that more was not done for them.
Times were hard. It was all they could do to keep themselves fed.
Nonsense! They chose to be victims. They think that only from without the castle walls may one voice discontent, not realizing that the quickest way to the throne is a knife to the king's ribs.
These people have the right to live out their own lives, not fill some part in a play of your design.
You have both your eyes, and yet you see less clearly than I do. True freedom is not granted from above, it is won from below. And yet the commons look without for a savior, even as they claim sovereignty over their own fate. They wait and they wait for their savior, never taking that first step towards saving themselves.
Man is not so slothful a creature as that. They merely lack our strength.
You are much too pure of heart, Holy Knight. The people have no need of dreams. We give them all they need.
And what is that, pray tell?
A strong, unwavering ruler.
You are mad.
All men are born with a terrible burden upon their hearts. This insatiable yearning for pleasure. They do not hesitate to take the lives of others if it will better their own. And yet, even these base creatures can know guilt. So, what do? They turn it around. This is not my fault, man says. The world has failed me. Someone must bring order to this chaos. If the commons want to pursue their pleasure, let them do it in our service, under our rule.
You call this rule? This trampling underfoot of all who disagree with you?
We trample no one. All we do is reach beneath the suppurating flesh of this world and wrench out the source of its ailment.
No. As the body strives to mend itself, so does the heart. These people you so despise may one day astonish you with their valor.
You have far too much faith in the creature called man, Knight. People are drawn to power, drawn towards safety. They will betray even their most beloved to obtain it. Kashua, come.
Kashua, what are you doing here?
Allow me to introduce to you your liege, Knight. For this girl is none other than the gift left us by Dana's king, Dogalua, the Princess Versalia, rightful ruler of Valeria.
What?
Well, as you say, the Bakram are not long for this world. But, with the princess in our hands, Valeria will beg to serve under Lodis.
Kashua, how? Is this true?
I loved Denam. As my brother, I loved him. But he was no brother to me. He abandoned me. And now, I him.
Kashua!
Though it pains me to part with the man who took my eye, I see no need to further torment the vanquished. Farewell.
Wait!
Farewell, Knight of Zenobia.
The princess has not been seen since the ceremony. Not even the officers among the Bakram know her whereabouts, and the regent has lent his spies to the search. I see no other explanation but that the princess has sided with the Dark Knights.
Then the rift between Branton and Tartaros widens. What word of the Dark Knights?
Most remain garrisoned in Haim, but many of their commanders, including Tartaros, are conspicuously absent.
Perhaps this is why the Bakram do not move against us. What could they be scheming?
You asked me to search for the Holy Knight of Zenobia.
Yes. Have you heard something?
A confession wrung from a scullery maid. It seems that the Holy Knight languishes in the dungeon below Haim Castle.
So he lives?
Yes, but under such a guard that not even the Bakram are allowed near. I was unable to mark him with my own eyes.
Still, you have done much. Go, rest.
By your leave, Commander.
Kashua.
Commander, should we not move our forces on Heim?
Not as yet. It would be rash indeed to strike without first knowing the Dark Knight's purpose.
Yes, but the more time that passes before we strike, the weaker we become. Have you forgotten the way the men speak of the princess? Soldiers in your own ranks weep aloud at the thought of lifting a sword against Orgalua's blood.
I know. All the more reason to not act in haste.
A report, sir.
What is it?
The soldiers at Brigantis have taken hostages and holed up inside the castle.
What's this?
What are their demands?
Our surrender to the Bakram, sir.
After all the fighting we've been through? Not bloody likely.
So the Order of Falaha joins the fray. Their followers among the soldiers were many, were they not?
Aye, and their influence has only grown since the princess's appearance.
Not a situation we are like to change. The princess's arrival was, for many, the advent of a savior. Add to this the fact that the late Dynast king was a fervent follower of Falaha. How natural for these new converts to rekindle his cry for accord and seek to abandon the fight.
What will you do?
I see no other choice but to meet with these followers of Falaha and speak with them.
Out of the question! It's too dangerous, Commander!
Not if I go alone and unarmed. They will hear me out.
Party level up, 25 to 28, and new title earned, Southron Liberator. Also, Brigantis Castle seems to have a hostage problem these days, and also the Order of Falaha. I don't know much about their tenets and beliefs. I would like to assume they're all like Donato, but for them to take hostages in the same way as Zabos? Alright, well, let's take a look at our Warren report. There's a lot of stuff to go through. First, we'll go with what might be the most important materials. Port Omish, Den of Thieves, unlocks a new event in the south of the map, and you will need to complete this section before approaching the battle at a place called Mount Hedon, which is not our next battle. The Neb's Emporium, this is in reference to a secret character. Well, I mean, not so secret. A hidden character, how about that? A hidden character that, if you jump through a lot of hoops, you can acquire I don't know how to say it. Wicce? It's the Wicce. It's the thing that Vestiari was. We'll go ahead and go through all these talks, and then we'll hit the people, and I think that's it. The Neb's Emporium. Good news for collectors of trinkets and treasures. We have had the good fortune of running into a charming young shopkeeper by the name of Denam, who stocks all manners of rare curiosities. She peddles her wares as she travels the lands, so consider yourself blessed if you happen upon her. Return of the Princess. A ceremony celebrating Princess Versalia's return to power was held at Heim Castle. Bakram officials who served King Dorgalua's I heard them say it during the cutscene. Dorgalua, including Regent Breton Morn, pledged their allegiance to the princess. Lord Tartaros also attended as representative of High Priest Sardian of the Holy Ludician Empire, reaffirming the alliance between the two nations. Resistance falters. Tran, which incorporates soldiers of the former Wallister Resistance and the armies of Galgastan, appears to be faltering. Still known as the Resistance, they pledged to fight the Bakram, but following the capture of Pydok Castle, a stalemate has been reached, and some of their number now believe the war to be futile. We will keep a close watch on further developments. Order of Falaha rises. The Order of Falaha was divided by infighting following the death of King Dorgaluas, with current leader Regent Morn ousting Archieris Maruva. However, Maruva has gained many supporters since his removal, and a great number of followers wish him reinstated when Princess Versalia returns to power. Rift in the Dark Knights. There have been rumors of discord between the Bakram and Dark Knights. Now it seems there is internal strife in the Dark Knights as well. a Bakram soldier revealed he saw Dark Knight commanders quarreling in Barnicia Castle. The details of the dispute are not known, but over the past weeks, the Dark Knights have been linked to dishonorable acts such as the massacre at Rhyme and the fall of Phaidot Castle. The Dark Knights may be looking for a scapegoat on which to lay the blame, but thus far they have remained silent on the matter. Port Omish, Den of Thieves. Law and order has suffered due to the lengthy war, but one town has been a haven for lawlessness since the rule of King Dorgaluos. Southwest of Quadriga Fortress lies Ubea, site of the outlaws' haven called Omish. Omish has a long history as a stopover port for sea traders, but over time it became a haunt for pirates, and it now operates under its own laws. It is also home to many criminals and former soldiers seeking anonymity, as well as refugees who lost their homes in the Dorgalua's Great War. Also, we have the new title. Southron Liberator drove the Dark Knights from Phaidot Castle and wrested control of the south of Valeria. And we have a bunch of updates for people. He joined the resistance after freeing Duke Ronway from his imprisonment at Amorca Castle and later took part in the massacre at Baba Musa. This is... sure. And just keep in mind that in this playthrough, we refuse to actually do that, but alright, we'll settle for what they've written here. Despite setbacks, he eventually came to lead the resistance against the Bakram and Dark Knight forces. His people call him the Hero of Goyat and have faith that he can put an end to the ravages of war. His Vice's lust for power had led him to conspire with the Bakram and slay the Duke. He also plotted to kill the Dark Knight Lancelot, but failed in his attempt. The Bakram laid sole blame on him, and he was executed for his crime. Leaving Denam to be her only true kin, she became distraught at the distance that had grown between them, and decided to leave the Order of Tran. Upon her return to Goyat, the Dark Knight Lancelot informed her she was the princess born of a union between the Dynast King and the Queen's handmaiden Manaflora. Kashua was seen in the company of Lancelot Tartaros when the resistance assaulted Phaidot Castle, giving reason to believe she has sided with the Dark Knight's Lothlorien. Lancelot Hamilton was garrisoned in Rhyme when the Bakram invaded and went missing thereafter. It is now known he is imprisoned in the dungeon of Hine Castle. We have Denab Rove, a Zenobian of unknown origin who once served with the Mages Regiment of the Kingdom of New Zenobia. She was a principal architect of the kingdom's establishment. Her thirst for arcane knowledge is boundless, and she has come to Valeria to gather funds to further her studies. She is also remarkably fond of pumpkins. Here. He died battling Denam with his sister Ozma at Phaidot Castle. That's very short. She died with her brother Oz, battling Denam at Phaidot Castle. And I think that's it. Alright, let's head on out. There's a couple of things. Chapter 4 is rife with things that you can miss. So if you're at all interested in 100%ing everything on your first playthrough that you can 100%, basically that you don't want to miss, you'll want to be very careful about when you make progress during the story. So at this point, we have unlocked quite a bit of the world. This is Port Omish, and we will need to do that before we approach this region here. There is a hidden battle in Bahana Highlands, which is unimportant, and you can, depending on whether or not you actually approach alone and unarmed, this does also count your accessory. So even if you equipped only the blue necklace, which I gave to Canopus a long time ago, because Canopus is strong, and whenever I need someone's face punched in, I bring Canopus. I think I unequipped everybody at one point, so. But anyways, even if you have just Azure necklace equipped and nothing else, they will still consider you armed. If you bring anybody, including just Canopus, and you're both unarmed, they still attack you. So if you want to get an achievement and skip a battle, have no followers with you and no equipment when you deploy for the battle. Also, you have to go on the right castle wall. If you go on the left castle wall, it's going to be a fight. I know I'm talking about things that haven't happened yet, but I'm kind of covering some stuff because there's a lot of missables, and that is a missable because that is the Steam achievement. Which if you do get in a fight, you miss Man of Peace achievement. There's a couple things that will happen at Baba Musa. When we have cleared this area, we will get a new talk, which will reveal the first step of a side quest to recruit necromancers in Baba Musa. You have to read the talk for that. And once you return to Phaidot Castle, after clearing this area, okay, once you've cleared that area and return to Phaidot Castle, there's another event in Baba Musa, which will override the Necromancer event, but you can still do both. Basically, you only get one event every time you visit it, so if both events are queued up, you'll do that other one. The one that requires a return to Whiteout Castle. I'm mentioning all of this because I'm going to take a certain route. I kind of counted the number of steps it will take, and I want to minimize my number of steps because I like having a low campaign days score or whatever. So that's just me. It doesn't really make any difference aside from when you can find Denam. That's about it. Alright. Because I want to hit Port Omish, and this expires after I've cleared this, and this only opens up after I've attacked this. We are actually going to go southward, hit this first, then reel back north, hit that, hit this, so that I get options for necromancy, and along the way, we will return to Whiteout Castle. Then we'll head back to Balmamusa that I was talking about earlier. And on the way back, with our necromancer powers, we'll look through Farampa Wildwood for undead. I don't know if that's really a good move. I have some ideas of the concepts of the game, but without actually having experienced it myself, my knowledge is limited. But as you can see, if you've watched my playthrough, you know that everything I get exposed to, I add it to my vast repertoire of calculations and knowledge and skill set. Yes, I gotta pat myself on the back there, because I have to say something to make you want to watch my videos, right? Okay, with that in mind, let's head on south. Win with an archer in the battle party, perform an action to restore an ally's HP. This is a fairly tough map. I've already won it twice, but I want to keep refining it because I want to give you the best strategy. So, the mission objective itself is just to defeat the enemy leader. However, the whole point of taking this optional mission, as this optional battle, is to save this guy. So if you fail to save him, you really didn't achieve much in this battle. In order to save him, however, you will need to get past this guy with Rampart Aura. This Berserker will do about 200-300 damage, meaning that he'll generally go down in about 2 full rounds. Yes, the Berserker isn't going to do enough to kill him outright, but he is surrounded by everybody, and here's how the first round typically plays out. This Rogue has 95 RT. He'll take the shortest route to the Buccaneer, which generally ends up right here. Because the tree is blocking, the Rogue is blocking, and the enemy leader is blocking, this NPC, this guest essentially, will have retreat in this direction, which will put him in arm's reach of this wizard. The Swordmaster will generally reach him first, followed by the wizard, and then maybe the Dragoon, and by that time he's pretty much dead. So you have about 2 to 3 rounds to get to him and help him out. There are 2 units right here. You can't really see them behind the buildings, but there's just a cleric and a witch. After a while, the witch will make it over to him and start casting spells as well. These guys will generally go for you. This guy does a pretty good job blocking you, so we have some flyers. He'll walk down the stairs and generally go after your spellcasters if you're rushing forward. Items are as follows. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here, but it's realistically unlikely that you'll reliably get them all unless you do certain things to gimmick the map. Because if he dies, I mean, you can still continue. The match is not over, but you might as well load. This guy is special. He's Balboed. Well, I mean, he yes, the enemy sometimes is Wallister or Galgaston, like this Swordmaster. Previous takes where I've talked about all this stuff, she was Wallister. Well, this guy's always Balboed. I don't have any Balboed in my army yet, and this can be useful for raising your Chaos Frame with the Balboed army or clan. If you wanted to. Now, I don't know if there's any point to that, but you can raise your Chaos Frame with Galgastan, and that will be useful later down the line. We'll talk about that when the time comes. Let's talk about our army. Everybody in this group is based around lower RT. So, for example, for Denam, I tried to stack him as much RT as I could. Otherwise, I would have given him a sword. The sword itself is 4 RT, but I wanted him to have more. So he's at 95. The reason why I'm talking about that is I needed the archer. I stripped him down of stuff, and now he's at 92 RT. I want him to go before Denam, because Denam is going to stand in front of him during the cutscene, and he's the only one only archer out of these two archers who can activate Eagle Eye while Denam is in range. So he's going to be lower than Denam. This archer here is kitted out just a little bit more, so he's at 95 RT. The reason why they're all based around lower RT is she is equipped as high as I could make her so that she could cast Paradigm Shift. So everybody's going to try to run forward, and then she's going to go right after them and cast Paradigm Shift. That's the plan. I have Eagle Eye on 2 archers so that we can try to petrify targets of interest. Cavalcante used to be a rune fencer, a lightning rune fencer, and I have lots of lightning rune fencers, so I've turned him into Beast Tamer. On my spreadsheet, it says that he's the best Beast Tamer. We could look for making an air Beast Tamer instead of a lightning one, but he had the best stats, and there's an extra reason for this. Since pretty much all of the enemies here are Earth, okay? Earth is weak to air. So you may say like, well, Tran, you just said you didn't want the Air Beast Tamer. That's correct. We're trying to save this guy. So by bringing in a lightning person who is weak to Earth, the enemy is more likely to attack this guy for the big damage. Right? They'll look at him as like, oh, I can do 200 damage to him, but I can do 300 damage to this guy. So that's why. Finally, we have our Berserker equipped with the dagger, like before. Again, pulled out of equipment so that she's below the RT of my wizard. The reason why we're bringing the enchantress or wizard instead of a warlock or witch is because she does have conserve RT, so we're trying to move as fast as possible. That's also why we're using things such as these mending seeds instead of any higher ones, which cost more RT. The bigger the heal, the more RT it costs. We are busting out some of the bigger magic leads for this one, because we do want to cast Paradigm Shift and kill the boss with finishing blows as fast as possible. Monsters are good for low RT because they don't require armor to get good defense. We're going to bring 2 flyers, and this Griffin is going to throw a magic essence on my witch so she can start casting Paradigm Shift right away. This Griffin is a backup Griffin, and maybe he'll get to the target leader, and throw a brand of sacrifice on him. So we have multiple avenues. We've basically got 3 to 4 plants in action because I can't chariot. Normally you could try something, you don't make it, you chariot, and then try again, and then you make it. That's not a thing for me.
By Philaha! Did you truly see it? What did the monster do next?
Would I lie to a pretty lass like you? Sirens, leviathans, any man of the sea worth his salt seen one. If you find one who says he hasn't, he's no man of the sea. He's a landlubber, without spine nor spirit.
If you say so. I suppose you're different.
Care to find out for yourself? I've no engagements later this evening. On with the game. Who throws the bones next?
Why not drink with us, lass? We've plenty of coin, and far less hot wind than you'll get from between his wilting whiskers.
Look in the mirror before you talk of wilting whiskers. All the coin in the world won't get me one step closer to the table with you.
You even know who you're talking to?
Might I venture a guess? You're a street louse with horns on his head. A milker of cows, perhaps?
You call the pirate Ragnar a street louse?
Then you do not deny you are a milker of cows, yes? I knew it by the vacant look in your eyes. You pirates are ever so all whey and no cream.
You scrawny little...
Sheathe your sword, lest you care to see blood.
And who are you? Is this town filled with insolent wretches? What? You're but a child. A child who plays at soldiers from the look.
I know that one. He's been fighting a backrubber, he has. Captain, that's the one they call the hero of Goliath.
You don't say. Our tide's coming in, boys. Grab the child. We'll hand him over to the buckram, then find some wenches who will take our coin.
They're not afraid of blood, apparently. Let's show them some. Storyteller, I've an eye for a sword arm, and I doubt yours will need any help in this fight.
Watch as the handsome lad steals my thunder. At least he gives respect where it's due. Diego may be a man of the sea, but he can hold his own on shifting deck or solid ground.
I would have liked it if they added him doing a throwing animation and hitting the guy with a bottle. It wouldn't take very much. I wanted to flex all of these different strategies in one formation, and you can just pick and choose which one's most available for you. So for example, this guy, he's going to Magic Essence. Monsters have high vitality, and so they are able to easily protect themselves even without wearing armor that will weigh them down. He'll get to move first, throwing a Magic Essence on her, which does cost 40 RT, but since he gets to move first, that frees up her action, and it won't cost her that RT. These characters also have dash. If they would just get it triggered once, they'll already be in Diego's face on the second move. The archer was supposed to give him a chance at Eagle Eye. This archer right here. That's why he moves 3 RT faster than Denam, but it didn't work, and every one of these is a possible strategy. It doesn't necessarily mean that they will all work, or even any of them, but all of them put together is pretty effective. I have a second archer to help out. I just want the Eagle Eye to take effect right there. That means that there's 3 petrifications right here. Maybe don't petrify this dude because his Rampart Orb will still be in effect. It's ridiculous, but that is how it works. Berserker, Ninja, Beast Tamer? Now, if Diego will crit the rogue, he will actually run over to this tree line. Generally, he does not. I think maybe in 1 in 8 battles he has crit the guy. And yes, I repeat the map a lot. I'm trying to show you the best version. I have won twice, and I've abandoned several other runs that just didn't work out as perfectly as I'd wanted. So I could petrify him, and that would end up basically leaving the Rampart aura in my face. Have him stop there then. Is there anybody I want to silence? Could silence him, I suppose. We'll wait. As soon as that tree gets out of my way, I'll be able to just petrify him anyways. Okay, so he's gonna run over here, and what's gonna happen is the Swordmaster is gonna enter this alley, attack him from here. The Berserker will stand here and attack him, the Rogue will stand here and attack him, and he'll be completely surrounded. Then the Mage will follow up and start casting spells on him. This Warlock will follow up and start casting spells on him, and by then he's probably dead. Go here. It's a little further, but this will give her 2 chances to Eagle Eye. Wait, she doesn't need Eagle Eye. She already has Petrification. Well, she'll use it up here, I suppose. And if she were any further, she wouldn't have been able to reach the knight. Alright, let's take 2 more chances to Eagle Eye, assuming that it activates. Paradigm Shift will attack, or will affect the caster and any enemy targets. However, the caster is already at 0 RT during the casting, so it actually doesn't do anything. heavy crossbow. There's no effect on it. Probably reach him. This will consume my petrification, but it will at least silence that target. And he's, again, in eagle eye range of 2 different archers.
Watch it, old man! You'd best not be planning to steal our booty.
I thought stealing was your job, pirate. Rest easy. I've no interest in the squabbles of boys.
Boys! Curse your sandy pie-hole! I'll kill you and the Resistance brat both!
Take what you want. Kill who you dislike. The pirate's way. Let's see what you've got.
Careful what you ask for.
Oh dear, he called you boy. Them's fighting words. Alright, I guess the best I could do is 140. I could probably hit him for 160-ish with a Chimera shot, or Chimera spell. Probably the best way to go. Let's get back attack only. I just want him out of my way. Tree has 8 hit points though. Alright, I guess we'll just hit him a little bit more. Okay, that's... Don't want to push him through where I'm blocking, but fine, we'll make the best of it. It's fine, it's funny. The Valkyrie often does block your way, so that's why I have these flyers. Like I said, the Dragoon just pretty much just sits there. Doesn't know what to do. 584. That would kill him, so let's go ahead and do that. Just gotta get rid of him. So that's the damage you can look forward to when she gets to him, because that's pretty much what she does. 500. Eagle Eye again. That's good. Didn't affect him because he's too far, but that's fine. There we go, that works. I think it's ridiculous you have to do that, though. Okay, let's see. Diego will move first. He'll probably attack and walk around here. Then the archers will move next. Both archers, in fact. He's at 245. The archers will probably not kill him, because he's not a lightly armored unit. It's too far for me to throw to him anyways. He does have an eagle eye, so I can just petrify that one on the right. If I can reach him. That would work. Let's see if we can find a better angle, though. Pretty sure this will not hit him. Yeah, it's me. Guess we're heading this way. Petrify this archer. How does his crossbow shot hit me, but mine does not? Ridiculous. This would affect 4 of me. Remember that although this looks like 4, it doesn't really do anything for her. Good, the archers go before Denam. That's what I want. No eagle eye that time. That's not what I want. Still no eagle eye. Man, I'm just not getting Denam his eagle eye. Since he is not actually an ally, he's a friendly NPC, but he's not part of our union by any means, not even as a guest. So, like Bayan before, he cannot walk through my guy, so I can easily trap him. Yes. That is him. That is my companion. I targeted him on purpose. Look, it saved his life. This is it. This must be the playthrough. This will be the playthrough I keep. I'll stand on here so we can do wind shot later. Stand here and heal him up. Yeah, the petrification added a lot of extra defense to him. That was the Trump move. That is the sole reason I have repeated this map over and over, is because I wanted to petrify him to show as a possible way to save guest NPCs that you want to keep alive. Petrify them. Alright, now I can kill the boss. Because I am taking a lot of damage here. Alright, Swordmaster's moving. What's her range? Probably can't reach me, can't she? Yeah, we're fine. Then Valkyrie. Need to deal with her then. Soundbug. Alright, well, she's been wounded, but I'll just petrify her and get rid of her. That's fine. Since Engulf triggered, I've sometimes seen damage that appears elsewhere, so I didn't want to, in case it affected companions that are not in your union. Yeah, I've even managed to assassinate him and only him in the entire map, just using my Berserker, but it still wasn't good enough. $149, and he won't be able to counter. Or 130 and get a 100-point counter, it's fine. And patch him up just in case something bad happens. Better safe than sorry. So I definitely want to keep this recording where I saved him just by petrifying him. It wasn't just for the lulz, it actually saved his life. Alright, affected the Berserker. Excellent. Get Sanguine Assault ready. Heart Crusher will do 525. And she can do it too. Ah, she doesn't have the mana. Just barely, 2 points off. Alright, how much damage with just normal swing? 100? Okay. Wizard, then Witch. Guess we'll just do the normal swing. I don't know, does anybody need healing before the 2 area effect spells come in? I guess these 2 could use a bit more healing. He had more mana. She's unlikely to cast a area effect spell. $264. How much would it have actually hurt him? 54 damage. That's how awesome him being petrified is. 302 with a Blood Siphon. 266 with a Rake. Yeah, we'll Blood Siphon then. Yeesh. So many close calls here, but I think we've got it. Can I get him with anything? Not anymore. Not after his healing. But the Griffin will get the move next, so yeah, let's just pile on the damage and call it done. This is the footage I've been trying for. I wanted to keep trying until I got something really good.
Always told me, only go for the low-hanging fruit. And girls.
Because there will be many times where you want to rescue or save someone, and I basically showed you a bunch of different strategies that might help you. And again, maybe everybody already knows this stuff, because this is like a 10-year-old game. It's just new to me.
Sorry, can I help you?
Don't waste your time, boy. Throw him a crust of bread, and you'll never see the end of him.
You're the storyteller from the market square. Sorry.
I'll bet you're wondering, how can he drink in front of them starving kids? What I want to know is, would drinking elsewhere change anything? It won't fill their bellies, that's for sure.
True.
This is the bottom of the cask, boy. Lees and dregs. Got our share of refugees, too, thanks to you and your kind.
You're suggesting I drove those children here?
Refugees don't grow on trees. But don't you worry none. Just keep on with your resisting, and we'll find a way to feed them, or not.
I'm not averting my eyes from the truth. I know what I've done, and why.
There's a leader of the resistance for you. More noble words in one breath than most men say in a year. Pay no mind to a scoundrel like me. I know my place. Hadn't you best be off? I'm sure a man like you's got plenty needs doing.
I was just thinking what a shame it was that a sword arm like yours languishes in a town like this.
All right. Let's check out the Warren report. We have the Rogue Diego. Ragnar does not exist in here, I don't think. a lover of ale and women, given to a life of debauchery. Behind his blithe demeanor is a fierceness that can make the burliest of brutes take notice. He seems to know his way around a sword, but his fighting days may be long behind him. Thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Tactics Ogre Reborn. See you next time.